it. So what's up, y'all? It's your boy DJ Fanatic at soundsforproducers.com. Basically, as you can see, we're in FL Studio. Pretty much all the techniques or whatever I show you in here, you can use in different DAWs. But this is basically a breakdown of a beat that I did with a bunch of the products that we have. Of course, I forgot to tell you, all the packs on the website at soundsforproducers.com. You probably see it on the screen. Everything's slashed, man. 50% on 50%. Well, I think 40%. Anyways, basically 80% off the regular price. It's insane. So it's like $6, starting at $6 for packs. And it's a lot of content in these packs. And definitely want to give you tremendous amount of value. And that way, man, you can just cook up with a lot of these different sounds. And there's MIDI data in there as well, and full drum. You've probably seen them in the videos if you watch my previous videos. But just want to kind of give you some techniques and hopefully some inspiration, because I know it's rough out there, man, because of whole quarantine, COVID, politics, and all kinds of stuff. You know, real life stuff, you know, working job, family, all that. I'm actually just jumping back on camera because I just finished cutting my grass, and I'm like in a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of stinky a little bit, but you know, I want to be dedicated to giving y'all on this schedule. I'll probably do every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern live. I might do that live. Stick to that schedule. I don't know. Y'all let me know, whatever. But I'm keeping the chat open just in case anybody drops in and want to say anything or have any questions or anything. But of course, you can put it in the comments as well of any of these videos, and I respond pretty much to every comment. There's some really weird comments sometimes, and I might just respond to it, or I might just delete it. If it's really weird and spammy, I don't even pay attention to it. But if you're serious about production, you know, I'm always willing to help other producers. And if you don't know by now, if you need a link to a free BeatStars account, I got that too. It's for the pro account. I can give you the link to that. It's for a month free, and I can, you know, pass that your way if you need it. And shout out to shout out to everybody showing love on the Sounds for Producers IG. And if you don't follow us, follow us. So let's get into this beat, man. Let's see. Let's move this over, and I'll check the chat periodically. And I haven't figured out how to do the fancy stuff where the chat shows up on top of the screen. I'll figure that out eventually. I've just been kind of lazy with that. So basically, I'm going to break down every element. The first thing I started with was actually a sound in Omnisphere, but I chose some MIDI data. So let me hit play here. And the BPM is 152. I have no idea where I got that MIDI data. I wish there was a way to kind of, because if you see my other videos, there's a way to just drag the sound to see where the sound came from, but I'm not sure. I think that's the sauce. Let me see. Nope, not that one. And if I look at the actual data itself, it's mostly chords, so it probably wouldn't be, and I don't want to bore you deaf looking for this. But anyway, that's a quick preview, I guess, of some of those. Man, was it Breakthrough? Was it Plucks? No, was it Keys? I have a feeling I'm getting close. So anyway, I used MIDI data from one of those, and I came up with this. Let me show you the sound that I chose on Omnisphere. Let me play it again. And this is the sound that I chose in Omnisphere. It's going to take a second to load here. Bars. See, if you rap and you're watching this video, I just gave you a bar real quick. Here and I forgot the word I chose to rhyme with. It's been a long day, people. It's been a long day. Come on, Omnisphere, what's good? There it is. And if you know any way to speed that up, I got a really good laptop, and for some reason Omnisphere takes a little long for me sometimes to load. But anyway, that's called Chaotic Vibes, and I think it's under. I did all, I guess. I don't know. I think I shuffled all the notes, and then just did a random shuffle and just chose that sound. So it's called Chaotic Vibes. Pretty cool sound. Did I favorite that? Because I like that. Yeah, I got 4 on that. My bad. Okay, so the next sound that and let me show you what I did processing wise. Just EQ. And I did, just cut out some of the mids and cut some of the highs. And of course the lows, so that way they don't interfere with the drums and stuff. You can kind of see what it does here. And when it comes to EQing, it's always, I wouldn't say, and I also boosted the overall dB level. It's good to cut the frequencies out first, basically limit what you don't want in the sound frequency wise. So that way you're cleaning up every sound individually. And the more you actually, this beat only has like a couple sounds, but the more you get in the habit of doing that, your beats will sound a lot better sonically, because you paid attention to the frequencies and the actual mixing of it. And it helps your music stand out, and it also helps you sell more beats, and it just gives it that extra polish. I know a lot of producers don't do any EQing unless it's, drum wise, or they just want to boost a kick or whatever. But this is very important, because you're just cleaning up your sound. But of course, if you specifically want dirty sound, you can use EQ to that advantage as well. You can like EQ certain frequencies for them to stand out and make that sound a little more gritty, and also with distortion things that you can do as well. And of course in these, I'll show you later, in FL Studio you can actually use some of the built-in parameters within the Fruity wrapper of the sound. So I'll show you that if I remember. So the next sound I chose, and what's cool about that sound is like this moving ARP. And I was just really experimenting, and I ran across that sound, and I was like, yo, that sounds really dope. And it was just something very unique. And I didn't know Omnisphere had interesting stuff like that. Omnisphere has like, man, I don't know what they said. I think it's like 50,000 sounds. It's a power synth. And a lot of producers use it. It's a beast, and I wanted it for a long time. And I remember when I couldn't afford it at the time. But now I just have too much stuff, and it can get overwhelming. But that's the fundamental ARP, which is a pretty straightforward name for an ARP. I think where are you? I think I favored it. Don't know why it's not highlighted. Is this alphabetical? No. So anyway, that is the fundamental ARP, and I don't know why it's not highlighting as I click. Maybe I'm tripping. So anyway, with those two combined, there's a lot of movement. So here, I'll play it again together. And with that ARP, what I did was just EQ, cut the lows, and just a smooth slope to cut off some of the highs. So, and I didn't say it at the beginning. I need to get better at this. Maybe I'll put a little clip at the beginning. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed by now, show your support. Click the sub button. Click the bell as well, so you're alerted to new music and new videos as well on the channel. And give it a thumbs up and drop a comment. Say what's up. So, with that particular sound, both actually complement each other pretty well, got a lot of movement, and all I used was EQ with that. And with these MIDI data, I forgot to mention that I got from one of the packs. Basically, I transpose it. You can Control A, select all, and you can hold down Shift and use your arrow keys and choose, you know, go down one, up one, whatever, until you find a key that you like, you know. So you can always transpose things. And I highly recommend that when you use MIDI data from third-party packs and whatnot. That way your sound is a little more unique. And you can also add in notes here and there, or take out notes, or invert certain chords. Invert is like, you know, take this one note and hold down the Control, hit the down button. Basically, I move that in octave. So you can do that with individual notes. You can get very creative just on the chords alone and make it sound a lot more unique. And I know producers run into like copyright issues because of, or copyright flags on YouTube or other platforms because they use loops exactly how they get them, and or samples. So you got to make sure, you know, you're making your stuff a lot more diverse when you're using like distribution platforms, when you're using loops and stuff. So definitely pay attention to that, because I know firsthand, you know, so a lot of producers don't know that. But of course, you know, they're royalty free, but when you try to distribute them with certain distributors, you can run into some conflicts. So be careful with that, you know, and it's always good to make it more unique and more you. And, you know, don't be lazy with it, man. This is art. Have fun creating. Just have fun doing this. So the next sound I think I chose was brass. And it's like farting on the in the program. It's just angry and just sound like I have some serious gas, man. That's the Orchestra Brass and Expand 2. One of my favorite brass, aggressive brass. And also what's really dope for brass is the output analog brass. They got some crazy sounds in there. So, and there's tons of plugins that you can use. Also Spitfire has some crazy stuff too. So so next sound I chose, I was really happy with those three. I made this beat really fast. And tell me who you think would sound good on this beat, because it's aggressive, it's kind of trappish, especially when I drop in these drums. So I use a full drum loop from one of the packs. And I rarely do it, but if I'm trying to speed up, you know, the process, or I want to experiment with drums, different drum loops, I will. So let's see where this goes. That is in the Sauce Volume 3. That's the drum loop 1 complete. And notice the BPM says 178 and the project says 152. So basically what I did is stretch the audio to fit within that BPM, and also use the stretch mode so that way it holds the pitch. So let me show you, if you don't know how to stretch in FL Studio, you basically select the audio and use this little icon here, stretch audio when resizing audio clips, right there. And what you're going to do, you can have a grid, because that's a lot easier. Notice the grid is set to bar, and you can do it by bar. Let me just show you here. See how it's stretching per bar? Or when you get just a random loop and it's nowhere near tempo, you can use none, and then you gotta, you know, stretch it based on whatever, how many bars you want, like 8, 4, whatever, 16, whatever. So, and also be mindful of the pitches too, because sometimes when you stretch the drums like crazy, they won't sound right with the correct pitch with the beat. So luckily this worked out. So here it is with the drums, the crazy arp, the brass, and also the chords. My bad, it's muffled because I used an automation clip. So let me just turn that on here. Okay, so now that I got that off, this next you got the basically those are the first four sounds. The brass, all I use is EQ. The drums, this is what I did with the drums to make them hit a little harder. I EQ'd the sub of it, right? I wanted just the bottom end of the kick to kind of come out a little bit. And also I wanted the snare to be a little brighter in the high mids. So sometimes when you're dropping full drum loops in there like that, you can listen to the loop by itself, right? Check it out. I'm gonna do without effects. Hey. Okay, so with effects. See what I'm saying? So just these three things. Oh, that's the automation. Okay. Just these two things that I did added so much to it. So all I did was a little bit of EQ to make certain things stand out. And I used a sausage fattener to kind of give it a little more presence, a little more compression. That is, you know, kind of like a limiter, but it's a compressor plugin. I think it's by Cable Guys, if I believe. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but yeah, it's a pretty dope plugin for drums, for anything. It just gives, it just makes stuff sound punchy, man. So anyway, so here are those sounds, and lastly, I added the 808, and I did some things to it. So let me play them all together. Let me unmute that. So you get the idea. That thing hits hard. All right, just checking the chat there, making sure. And so, yeah, there you go. That is all the sounds in this beat. Structure-wise, it's pretty much a 16. Looks like a 8-bar chorus, 16-bar verse, 8-bar chorus, 16-bar verse, and 8-bar chorus, and then a like a breakdown here. And the intro looks like 8 bars. So that gives you an idea of the song structure. And song structure, I say this, you know, in a bunch of other videos. You can also like listen to hit songs and kind of use, you know, song structure has changed over the years, because like before that was so important. It's a lot more important with like R&B, even pop songs, and also TV music. But hip hop rap has changed as far as structure a lot, because it used to be very, very, very structured. I notice now you can have like 8-bar verses, and then like a 4-bar vamp, and then a 12-bar. You know, it's all over the place now. But now you can have 12-bar verses, which I think is kind of strange, and have like a 6-bar chorus. I counted the beats. I'm like, yo, that's really different. So, but like I was saying, what you can do is actually listen to hit songs and kind of cater that as a template, and always count in your head how long is the verse, how long is the chorus, and then you can use those as templates for your own beats. So that's a quick way of learning how to do that. But you can always just do what you want, man, because there's some hit songs that became hit songs because you just did what you want, the artist did what they wanted, and then the song was structured out of, you know, what was made between the artist and the producer. So what else am I going to tell you? Yeah, that's pretty much everything. The mastering, I'm going to show you a little bit of that because I only did a couple sounds in this beat. So let me show you what I did. Oh, I didn't show you the 808. And there's something else I was going to show you. Oh, like the in the, what do you call it, the drum loop. And you can go in here with regular, like, let's pretend this is a kick or a snare. You can actually use these pre-computed effects here. You can go to, just click on this, and you have this cool little boost clip option. You know, you got EQ, RMX. I think this is I forgot what this does, but you can always mess around with it and see what it does. resonance. So you can, this knob right here, basically, right there, when you're using just a kick or a snare or whatever, this can give it a little bit of distortion. Experiment with these. I think I did a full video on these and it came out pretty dope. So I think I did. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But if you want to check out a lot of hacks and tricks I did and videos to help you out with FL Studio and production in general, you know, check out the homie Postman. He got his channel's Live Off Beats. If you go there, just search that in YouTube, you'll see a lot of the videos that I've partnered with for his channel as well. So back to this, and shout out to Postman too, man. So back to this. What was I going to show you, man? Oh, the 808. So with the 808, I did a lot. So here it is by itself. Yeah, that 808 is crazy. And this is without effects. And notice with effects, it smooths it out a bit and it doesn't have like that punch. So of course, I usually start out with EQ. 808s, I usually do a slow curve right here. And then shout out to Curtis King, put me on to R-Bass Stereo. That is a really good plugin for 808s. Of course, there's tons of them you can do. You can actually use EQ and come up with some cool stuff. I use Decapitator. Shout out to the homie BusyWorks Beats for putting me on a Decapitator back in the day. And the Fruity Limiter as well. Why did I use that? Oh, did I sidechain that? Yes, I sidechained the drum loop to the 808. So check it out. All right. There's a huge debate whether you should sidechain your drums or 808 or whatever in hip hop. I don't get into debates. It's basically based on your taste. Bars again. It's not, you don't have to do it, and it's okay to do it. It also depends on your settings. I saw somebody comment, no, you never do that because it causes pumping effects. Oh, yo, you can't do that because it makes your drums sound like they're too loud and your 808 can't. Basically, do what the hell you want. It's art, you know. I always get like frustrated because people try to say you got to do a certain thing because somebody else does it. You are the creator of your own art. These are just tools. So I chose to use this on this beat and it actually worked out well. I did light threshold. I pause it here so you can see how much it's compressing. Not much. I just wanted the drums to kind of hit you in the face a little bit. Just jab, jab, punch, you know what I'm saying? Just jab you a couple times. And the 808, it just ducks a little bit because I wanted that 808 to just swallow you and just, you know what I'm saying? Pause. I want the 808 to just consume. You know what I'm saying? I want you to play this beat in your car and you're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So I chose to use this because I wanted the drums to stand out a little bit. Notice it's a light threshold. I usually put the knee in ratio all the way up, and the release is actually, it's pretty fast. So let me show you exactly what's going on so you can take a look at it. This here is the drums, 808s at the bottom. And the purple is the compression amount. So notice it's really light, it's really fast. So don't trip. It's okay to use it. So I think that's about it. And you can get some cool results by messing around with different things with that parameter. So let me play some of the beat. And before I do that, let me actually check the time for y'all. Perfect. I use Isotope. Shout out to Isotope. I met a few representatives at Isotope out in LA. I forgot his name, man. I think it's Chris, and then there's Philip. They were really cool, showing me a lot of their new products, and I was telling them, yo, I'm an Isotope fan, bro. And I was telling him some things he didn't know. So anyway, I use Neutron 2 to start out with. Basically, I use the, what do you call it? Of course, you can mess around preset managers. I haven't done that in a long time, but I use the track assistant. And then it tests based on what's playing. And notice how it went crazy because I have it open. But then, you know, I just tweak based on the parameters that was chosen, the modules, and then I tweak based on what was chosen. And there's some settings that you can choose in here. Once you do that, you can do auto detect, or you can choose voices, guitar, percussion, bass, because you can use it on other instruments. You can choose a style. Upfront tends to work best for me. Sometimes balance, it depends. I make music for artists and television, so upfront usually works for me. I usually do medium intensity. I try high sometimes to see what happens, but you know, I usually use medium. So that's pretty much the same thing I do with Ozone 8. I really hope I didn't change my settings. I won't save this anyway. So with Ozone 8, you basically use the, I think it's called the master assistant. Let me check if I'm right, if my memory serves me well. Yes, the master assistant. So you click on that. You choose your target, whether it's for, what are you going for? Streaming, CD, reference, intensity. So anyway, you get the idea. And once it determines, you know, your loudness and all that, and before I even do this, I kind of turn things down a little bit, so that way my dynamics are a lot wider before these are applied. So it chooses a bunch of stuff. EQ, you know, I'll check everything actually. Each module, the dynamics was fine, so I chose not to use that. I always use Imager so I can kind of shape the sound, the wideness of each frequency. And dynamic EQ, it chose that. I rarely have to tweak that because it's very accurate, and I use Vintage Tape, which is a gem for you, because it can do some amazing shit. So, and also the maximizer is chosen at the end, and I go through the modes, and I go through the settings under the mode, the, what do you call it, the timbral quality of IRSC limiting. Basically, I choose which one sounds best, and then I apply thresholds and whatnot. So it's kind of almost mastering. It basically is mastering, but you also want to leave a ceiling most times. So experiment with that. You know, I'm still learning with mastering, and definitely different levels, but it has been giving me a lot of results based on the settings I've researched over the years. But I also want to just research a little further and make things sound a lot cleaner. That's what, you know, a master does. They never stop learning. So, and I'm not saying I'm a master, but I'm on the journey to be one. So hopefully you're enjoying the video. Again, hit the sub button, click the bell as well. Give it a thumbs up if you're feeling anything I said. And of course, use code FanaticBday for 50% off, already 40% off. Get those packs only for this month. After this month, you probably won't see a discount for a long time. So yeah, and let me know what you think. There's a lot of stuff in there, and a lot of stuff to keep your mind creative. And maybe I'll finally bring this new pack that I've been keeping in the stash for y'all. Depends, man. Depends how many, you know, likes I get on this video, you know. So anyway, I know it's a small channel, so it's all good. So let me play the beat, and you get to hear how it came about. And I did a little filter EQ on the drums here to kind of sneak them in. If you notice when I was talking, the drums here, I used a bypass EQ, and just as you can visually see, it's very muffled because there's no highs and just a little bit of lows, and have it gradually coming in the drums. And you'll see what I mean when I hit play here. So hopefully you enjoy. Let's go. That's mean. drums are clean. Bring in another element right here. Spread out right here. Hey. Hey. Alright, that's enough. Now you get the idea. So again, appreciate the love. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you in the next video. Yo, man, click that sub button. Peace and love.